they're more athletic players. She can drive along with Leah Brown and find the shooters.
Yeah, so we just cut out for a second. I hope we are back now and better than ever here on this broadcast. Michigan, Northwestern. It's been fun early. Michigan has a 28-26 lead. We have about 9 minutes to the start of the second half. Colby and I have done the first half. We'll get KG Foley on the second half as well. So it'll be fun going forward as Michigan leads Northwestern 28-26. And if you're just joining us, viewers, you can listen to that. Colby, I want you to repeat what you just said because it just cut out. Give me a little synopsis right now.
So basically, I think Michigan's best offensive personnel is you have Leah Brown at point guard, and you put Hobbs and Maddie Nolan on the wings ready to shoot threes, and you have Kaiser down low. Along with maybe Cameron Williams for the offensive rebound, maybe Alyssa Crockett, but you need Leah Brown to be the facilitator, and how she facilitates is not only passing the ball around but driving and forcing the Northwestern defenders to close on her so she can find the three-point shooters in Hobbs and Nolan, or find Kaiser down low as well.
Yeah, but some of the positives, we've been very critical, obviously, against a weaker team, Michigan, not dominating, but it's, of course, just the first half. How about Lila Felia? She's been great offensively with 8 points, leading scorer for the Wolverines, 3 for 7 from the field as well. But her eyes, her attention, her awareness in those passing lanes have been very effective, and she's been a menace on the defensive end.
Yes, she has been probably by far the Wolverines' most effective player, and without those steals, I think she had a few breakaway chances as well. You know, who knows where Michigan would be, and also on the offensive end, she has 8 points, and she's their leading scorer. I mean, she's a great player, and we've seen her, I don't know, take a step forward, because she's been very effective this season. But I think of her kind of in a Patrick Beverly role, Alex Caruso role. You know, she's so vital. She might not get the points, but here she has 8 points, but she is just the heart and soul of the team. Energy, hustle, and she's certainly she has 3 or 4 deflected passes here, and that just shows you how active she is.
But I also think she scores 17 points a game, so she can flat out score Leila Felia. It's her, Brown, and Kaiser all averaging 15 a game. So it could be 1, 2, or 3. They all can score. They all can get the ball to the rim. Kaiser's more an interior. Felia likes to get to her spot on that free throw line, where she's been so effective today. So I think she's been very impressive all game long. Colby, you've done great on this first half. Give me a little prediction. What are you looking for? And then we'll pass it over to KG.
Well, I predict Michigan to play like the second half of the Michigan football team. As we saw yesterday, they maybe let teams hang around in the first half, but then they steamroll them in the second half. I think Michigan will make adjustments. I think they will make their shots, and Northwestern has made a lot of tough shots here. Michigan hasn't made hasn't made any tough shots. They've missed a lot of their easier shots. I think you'll see some regression, and Michigan will start to pull away here.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Colby. And as we switch these two, KG and Colby, I'll give you a little update. Michigan, Kentucky on WCBN1. Kentucky leads by 4. That game is live from London. Charlie and Adam are there. We've also got some upcoming broadcasts as well. I hope that Big Ten Championship broadcast was awesome. I listened to it. I thought it was awesome. Zach Linfield, William Gregory, Kellen Flynn, and Kendall Spencer on that call. Michigan going to the Fiesta Bowl as announced earlier. Now, KG, I think you're ready to go.
Yes.
It was a fun first half.
Super fun first half.
And now heading into the second, I just asked Colby what his predictions are and what her key takeaways are from that first half. What are you looking for here in the start of the second half?
What I'm looking for from Michigan is a little bit of a stronger finishing from them. I think that they have set themselves up for opportunities. They've been aggressive under the net. They've had some great passing, but unfortunately their scoring is lower than usual because they're not exactly finishing like they used to. I think that there's been a lot of shots taken that should have been made, especially right under the net. Unfortunately from Cameron Williams, she's hard to ignore under the net, but she's had a few shots that should have definitely gone in, which is something that I've noticed. So I think in this half, there's not much to change, but they just need to elevate what they're doing and be a little cleaner with their shots and with their finishing.
Well, Michigan on the year has been 49% from the field. That has been remarkable, and you knew that wouldn't keep up. But today, Michigan, 39%.
Yeah.
So that's your difference right now in terms of scoring. It's lower than usual. It's allowed Northwestern to stay in this game. They can muddy it up. And I think those turnovers is another product. It's not just the finishing. It's those turnovers. Eight turnovers. Yes, Northwestern has 7. But I think that's been a key difference. Michigan usually doesn't turn over the ball as much throughout the season. They haven't done that. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've experienced dominance in most of their other games where they're the ones causing the turnovers, and they've usually had the control with their possessions. And today we're seeing them get a little more heat on the defensive side. And I think part of that is due to Northwestern's speed and agility. They've been cutting them off. They've been putting on pressure. And I think Michigan is just starting to see today with this Big Ten conference opening what it's going to be like for the rest of the season, playing against teams that are a little closer to their level. And while today probably should be a bigger stretch than it is, I think it's maybe good in the bigger picture that Michigan has to fight a little right now to show them that, not everything's always going to be a given for them.
yeah, it's been all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, absolutely.
To start this season, and now Michigan, a little bit of a test, not the top tier of the Big Ten, but nonetheless another Big Ten team. Also, we were just talking about this, Colby and I, the difference in Leah Brown, Emily Kaiser, both having 4 points. Layla Felia, the third of that trio. She's got 8 starting to lead this team. What can we see from Kaiser and Brown here in this second half?
Kaiser has definitely had a quieter game, and I would like to see her step up a little more and, take some more shots and be a little more aggressive on offense. She's a great offensive player. She also has height to her advantage. So I would love to see her continue to play that role she's been playing all season of the leader and the captain on this team. And I'm sure in the locker room right now, they were definitely having conversations, and I would like to think she was probably leading some words of wisdom to her team. So in this second half, I think, as one of the top players on this team, it's going to be up to her to start to elevate everyone's play around her. And I really hope they put in, let me just make sure I get her name right, because she's one of my favorite players, and she hasn't played so far this game, and I don't know if it's because she's injured. I can circle back to her because I don't know her name off the top of my head. But I also have been liking that they've been putting Camp Schroeder in because she's also a really strong player and strong shooter for this team with a big 3-point at the buzzer in the first half, which helped them get a bit of more of a lead. So I hope to see her do some more this half.
We also saw Jordan Hobbs, the sophomore, too. She came in about 4 minutes, hit a 3, and took 3 attempts from 3. She's been open all game, too.
Jordan Hobbs has also been proving herself in the first 8 games this season, getting a lot more play than I think she might have even been expecting, because she's been making a name for herself. And a lot of players on the Michigan team are trying to make names for themselves. There's a lot of room for players to make a difference on this court with such an opening left behind by big star players last season. So I hope she gets another chance today on the court to prove what she's got going on for her.
Yes, hopefully she does. It's Michigan, Northwestern, 28-26. We're just about to resume the start of the second half. The third quarter is just about to get going. Michigan 28, Northwestern 26. Fun first half, hopefully a better second. KG Foley, along with Matthew Levy. Let's get it going. Second half Here we go. The starting lineup for the Wolverines. It's Felia, it's Kaiser, it's Williams, it's Nolan, it's Brown. It's the starters. As for Northwestern, they go with their starters as well. Rainey, Brown, Wood, Walsh, and Mott. So starter v. starter. Here we go. Third quarter, Michigan, Northwestern, Big Ten opener. Big Ten opener from the Crisler Center here on Sunday afternoon. Here's Brown, looks inside to Kaiser. Kaiser trying to make a move, and I think Cameron Williams drew that foul early.
Cameron Williams is one of the most aggressive players on this team, and I love watching her defensively because she's clearly like very dominant under the net.
She's been effective tonight, or today, excuse me, as Kaiser gets doubled immediately and she's fouled. So Northwestern threw 3 bodies at Emily Kaiser, but somehow she draws the foul and free throw attempts right away for the Wolverines after having 0 in that second quarter.
Yeah, I think Northwestern's probably wanting to slow their scoring down however they can, and if putting them at the line is one of the ways to do it, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a method they took.
First is good from Kaiser. That's her 5th of the night. She averages around 20 a game, so way below that season average as she makes both to get up to 6.
She's always been really strong at the free throw line, something that the Michigan team has, as a whole, has a strength. Like when they're at the free throw line, they more often than not make those shots, which in games like this are important and definitely add up.
Trying to feed Mott inside was Walsh, but errant pass turned over. Here's Felia. Swings it. Brown looking to attack. Gets it to Kaiser on the low block. Kaiser back to Brown. She's doubled. What a pass, Cameron Williams. What a cut, what a pass. And Michigan comes out hot to start the second half.
Cameron Williams is always so great at moving just right to be the one open under the net with very rarely anybody on her.
Trying to turn the corner was Brown, and I think she was bumped by Felia. Just 50 seconds in, Michigan has a 6-point lead now. So they've kind of, as Colby said in that first half, kind of taken the role of Michigan football, starting off the second half.
Second half team.
As I say that, Brown inside gets one not to go and then gets the second, and she's fouled as well. So a 3-point play potential for Jillian Brown.
Yeah, we have to be smart with close games like this. We have to be smarter with some of our fouling because we get a little aggressive, and putting people at the line like that in close games is a dangerous move.
So the 3-point play converts. Michigan up 3. Brown pressed by Rainey. Then Brown is doubled. She gets hit in the face, but they're going to call a jump. So Northwestern picks up the energy.
Northwestern is coming out aggressive right now. They have been playing intense man-on-body defense, and I would love to see how Michigan reacts to some of that aggression that they have not seen in previous games.
Camp Schrader comes in for Brown, so Brown immediately takes a seat. She's been struggling as well tonight. And here's Rainey. Good pass inside. Here's Wood for 2. It goes, and the lead is cut to 1. Felia and the Wolverines trying to get themselves into the basketball game, it feels like, as Williams makes a sweet move. Sweet move from the post to get it back up to 3.
Williams carrying the scoring right now in this second half.
Double teamed by the Wolverines on Rainey. We've seen that all night. Here's the 3-pointer in from that right side, doesn't go from Brown, and here comes Emily Kaiser. She'll take the basketball up. She's got a mismatch. Yeah, they're immediately getting that screen and roll when she's got that mismatch. Now here's Kaiser, immediately tripled, and she's fouled again. Much more aggressive Emily Kaiser right now.
Absolutely. I'm happy that she drawed that foul and pushed in, even though there was a bit of a wall there, because she's also strong at that free throw line. So getting there is a great place for her to be.
Kaiser at the line once again here in the second half. Will take 2. First is good.
Beautiful.
She has 7 points, 3 for 3 from the line. Now she's 4 for 4. So Michigan back up 5 here in this third quarter, just about 2 minutes in. Michigan 36, Northwestern 31 in the Big Ten opener.
These two teams have a really tight history with each other. I think that there's a long rivalry, and I think that the record right now is 41-39 Northwestern. So these are teams that have faced each other many times in the past, and it'll be interesting to see which way the record goes today.
The ball went out of bounds for Northwestern. Will sideline inbound. Here's a three-pointer from Walsh. It goes. How about Malay Walsh?
Northwestern has been taking those threes tonight, despite that's usually not their strength. Perhaps it's something that the team is working on, and three-point plays are really big, especially in tight games like this.
4 for 9 from 3, while Michigan's 2 for 9. So Northwestern's had that advantage. Lead back down to 2. Williams doubled, kicks it out. Kemp Schrader inside. Kaiser again. Good pass. Williams, no. She couldn't get the finish.
Couldn't get the finish, unfortunately, but she was there. She's always there.
What a pass from Kaiser, though. Big to big. Couldn't convert. Northwestern with a chance to tie or take the lead. Walsh, a little bit of an errant pass from Rainey. Back up top to Rainey. Here's Brown on that right side. Guarded by Felia. Inside the post. Mott. Rainey 3. No. And a rebound out of bounds by Brown. And it will go back to the Michigan Wolverines.
Northwestern's offense is definitely giving Michigan's defense a little run for the money. And that possession right there on the right side of the court, there seemed to be some confusion about who was on who. And Michigan plays really tight man-to-man defense. And I think Northwestern has been, putting some holes in their defensive plays.
Camp Schrader immediately pressured. Then she gets the ball back. Open jump shot from the free throw line. Doesn't go. Rebound Rainey. Here's Brown. Looks to push. Nolan on defense. Maddie Nolan, the senior leader.
Maddie Nolan plays with a lot of aggression, and she definitely elevates the aggression of her teammates around her.
Kaiser, another double team off that screen, and an open 3 from Walsh.
Wow.
And Northwestern takes the lead.
Wow. Those three-pointers have been working for Northwestern as they've been finding that space on the outside line and been able to follow through.
Fouled. Cam Schrader was fouled by Brown as Michigan is utterly shocked from this three-point shooting. Northwestern 5 for 11. They're taking those three-point shots. They're 45% from the field from 3, and they've been effective in getting those shots to fall.
I'm not surprised that they've put Cam Schrader on the court because she's someone who's known for her three-point shooting as a transfer from Oregon, and I hope that she can find some space on the court to take and make a three.
Brown back in. Good pass inside. Kaiser immediately doubled. Works around it. Good block. Good block from Calais Walsh. She's been hot.
Absolutely. The defense has been tight for Northwestern under the net. I think they've started to recognize Michigan's passing routines that end up right under the net, and they've been trying to cut that off.
Fakes it inside. Camp Schrader. Inside Ophelia. Back to Kaiser with 6 on the shot clock. Good cut inside. The finish by Elise Stuck off the bench. Nice little cut from the Wolverines. They regain the lead with 5:38 to go here in this third quarter. It's been fun early in this second half.
Super fun to watch them back and forth. We haven't seen many back and forth games like this for the Wolverines.
The kick out. Here's Walsh, but she traveled. So a good contest, forced the travel from Walsh, and Michigan's defense adjusting to Walsh's three-point capability. She is 3 for 4 on the night. Again, this pressure. Rainey started to cut you off, KG.
All good.
And a finish there from Northwestern, and they get the lead once again.
Northwestern has been pushing up very early on their defense. I don't think that's something that Michigan has seen by other teams.
As Felia gets that shot to go, so Michigan reacts to the pressure. Northwestern throwing a bunch of defenses. They recently adjusted to this press. It seems like a little zone press as Northwestern gets the ball deflected and out of bounds. They'll keep possession as we go to a timeout. We are just about halfway through this third quarter. Michigan leads 40-39. KG. It's been fun early. Felia, she's got 10 for Michigan, the leading scorer. Kaiser, though, with a really strong start to this second half.
Absolutely. Kaiser definitely probably took a beat during that halftime and realized that the aggression with this team is going to have to be elevated because Northwestern is getting scrappy. They're pushing up heavy. They're they're, trying to steal the ball before they even cross the half court. So, you have to reevaluate your play against who you're playing against. And I think Michigan hasn't had to do that too often. So hopefully in this second half, they'll learn how to adapt on the go to a more aggressive and physical team.
And I think they will, and you've seen it from this Northwestern. I think it's been more that three-point shooting, that three-point variance. They've had those open looks, but it's been surprising from this team, from this Northwestern team, usually 30% from three. They're 45% right now. Michigan usually about 35, 40% from three. They're 22%. So that's been the difference in why this game has been so close.
Yeah.
However, Michigan, all of a sudden, they've gotten two of their trio now going with Kaiser and Filia. When does Leah Brown really step up and become that scoring option, that third scoring option for the Wolverines?
Leah Brown is somebody who has had an interesting experience on this team. She's someone who has to find her confidence on this team, and I think that depends on a game-to-game basis, and right now she's probably feeling a little bit of heat, probably being a little tough on herself. So hopefully every time she gets on the court now, she just is going to take it point by point, try to find those openings, try to find what she can do. She has the abilities to be a high scorer, and I think that it's just about finding some of the confidence. I think with basketball in general and shooting in general, Northwestern has this really high shooting percentage because they're getting hot, they're getting confident. And, once you have that heat behind you and that confidence behind you to take those shots, they're more likely to sink in.
And I think this is also a learning adjustment for Michigan. When Leah Brown had a bad game last year, they just go to number 0-0 inside, and that was Naz Hillman. They don't have that as much. Emily Kaiser has tried to take the role. She's done a pretty good job, but now the pressure is more on these guards. Leah Brown, Layla Filia, they got to play better and play more consistently throughout the second half.
Yeah, when you don't have a star to fall back on and you realize that you're the net, it becomes a different way to think about the game and, the pressure that's put on yourself to be a star player even when there's no star player to carry you along.
Walsh immediately double-teamed. Kaiser on her. Dribble handoff to Brown. 40-39 Michigan. Midway through this third quarter. Northwestern has possession. Rainey gets the screen from Walsh. Good hedge again from the Wolverines. Kaiser very aggressive on those screens. Gets it inside to Mott. She had an open look. Couldn't get it to go. Then a jump ball. Good job. Leah Brown on the defensive rebounding. And I think possession will stay with the Wildcats.
The player I was referring to before is Ari Wiggins. Do we know if she doesn't seem to be on the roster for today, and I'm wondering if perhaps she's injured. But she's a player that also brings a lot of energy to the court, and it's really fun to watch. So that also is some energy I think is missing from this game.
Yeah, we have not seen Ari Wiggins today. We have not had any word of a potential injury. Again, injuries in college sports, much harder to follow.
Much harder, yes.
Teams don't need to release them, just like professional leagues. If we get any word on that, we'll let you guys know. And 4:32 to go. And again, this press from Northwestern now turned into man press as Kaiser gets it up the floor. Here's Brown. 2-3 zone for the Wildcats. Filia. Brown looks to drive. Brown lost it, and I think she turned it over. A little double dribble. She has been frustrated all night, and
absolutely,
against these 2-3 zones, you got to move the basketball and attack the seams. Leah Brown trying to do it all herself. That's not going to work against the 2-3.
Absolutely.
Northwestern's got possession.
Michigan has found the most success on the offense when they're passing, so I think leaning with that and moving the ball quickly to find those holes in the Northwestern defense is going to be the key to keeping a lead and hopefully pushing it past a 1-point lead.
Kalea Walsh, she has come into the second half playing with her hair on fire. She has been unbelievable. She's got 9 points. She's at the free throw line after a really good pass from Rainey inside to Walsh. So Walsh will take 2, is entering the game right now for the Wolverines.
And she's been the really strong three-point shooter for Northwestern, being 3 for 4 from the three-point line.
Kyra Evans checks in for Stuck as that first free throw goes. So it is now tied at 40, 4:03 to go in this third quarter.
Interesting move to put Evans in, someone who hasn't seen a lot of time this season. I imagine the Wolverines are probably trying to shake things up, change the play right now with hopes of finding success somewhere.
Cam Schrader to Filia, moves it cross court. Here's Brown, looks to attack. Here's Cam Schrader. Good cut. Brown inside, turning, trying to find someone. She does. Evans almost stepped out. Here's Brown with 5, swinging it across. Filia three-pointer. It's good.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Layla, Filia were at a great passing. Leah Brown with a much better possession. Gets it to her shooter, and Michigan regains the lead.
Passing was the key there for Michigan, and hopefully they can continue as they get the ball and move back down the court.
Here come the Wolverines once again. Camp Schrader, no looker. Here's Brown.
Beautiful.
She gets it to go, and Michigan's got a 5-point lead. A little momentum shift as the crowd gets into it from Crisler Center.
Moving quickly down the court like that had Northwestern's defense caught off guard and was able to make an easy play for the Wolverines. And they're probably a little rattled now as they call for a timeout.
So timeout, Wildcats. Michigan leads by 5. 2:58 to go in this third quarter. Michigan starting to regain some control. 4 for their last 4 from the field, led by Layla Filia. Sorry about that pronunciation. She's got 13 points, 5 for 9 from the field. She just hit her first three-pointer to get this crowd, to get the energy really back in it.
Absolutely.
For the Wolverines.
I hope that three-point might be a bit of an energy shift for the team, for this arena. It's really exciting to watch Layla Filia do what she does best, and that's be a shooter. She is a strong, strong shooter. She has had big scoring games, is leading the scoring right now. And when she finds her stride, she can help pull this team ahead point-wise really far. And, you know, as Michigan is a big scoring team, wants to be known as a big scoring team as they have been for the last 8 games, they need players like Layla Filia to be on their game. So she's got another quarter to keep the fire going.
And this is an interesting thing for the Wolverines, a new development. If the defenses are going to focus on a Brown and Kaiser, or if they're going to play zone, those three-point looks, those opportunities for Layla Filia are going to be there, and she's converted today so far.
Absolutely. I mean, adjusting to the Northwestern defense is taking them a minute, but I think they're starting to figure it out a little and know how to find those openings and find people like Layla Filia, find people on the outside to take a quick jump shot. And I'm just really excited to keep watching this game. It's been one of the more exciting women's games that the Wolverines have played, and I think it's going to be a kind of a small sneak peek into what the rest of the season could look like for them.
Michigan has battled. They've faced some adversity here through 2.5, 3 quarters of play, but yet they've got a 5-point lead. They're starting to find their groove. But you got to be impressed with Northwestern. They come into this game 4-3, really struggled, just lost at Cameron Indoor, down 16 against Duke. They come into this game. You didn't know where their energy was going to be Sunday afternoon, early start.
Yeah.
They come in with their hair on fire.
Absolutely. I mean, this is their second on-the-road game in a big stadium like this. And they have adjusted really well, and I've been super impressed with Northwestern's play tonight. I mean, you know, we were talking very differently at the beginning of this game than we are now, and that's all due to the game that they've been playing. So it's super fun. It's more fun to have competition anyways, and so I've been really excited watching this game and excited to see where it goes from here.
Here we go, just under 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Northwestern will sideline inbound from the near side. Away from the benches. Wood to Brown inside. Here's Walsh trying to get Northwestern going once again. Rebound. Oh, it stays. Kyra Evans battling with Paige Mott. Mott wins that battle and will stay with Northwestern with 20 on the shot clock. Wood will inbound from the basket. Good little face up, but a good cut. Brown again. No, it's tipped up, and it will go to the Wolverines.
That was some really good, aggressive, clean defense under the net. All ball, no fouls, and, you know, that's important to get that possession back to them.
Offensive rebounding, pretty impressive there from Northwestern. I think they got 3 rebounds just off of that possession, yet no bucket. Here's Kaiser. She's now doubled. Kaiser feeds it. Evans, double teamed under the basket, swings it out. Here's Brown. Back to Kaiser with 10 on the shot clock. Kaiser turns, spins. Kaiser blocked, gets her own rebound, no, and a rebound to Mott. Good defense again. Both sides. No, Northwestern, those double teams confusing Kaiser and the Wolverines.
Kaiser was trying to be aggressive there, but she probably could have used best with the pass.
As that shot from Mott doesn't go. Michigan trying to get up before that zone gets going. Felia, wide open three-pointer. It goes. Layla Filia, the star of the day. She's up to 16.
Layla Filia is only a sophomore, and so she has so much room to grow.
So much talent as Jillian Brown hits another impressive jumper, cuts the lead to 6. Here is Leah Brown. Kaiser. Good defense from Mott. Almost turned it over, and she does. Here comes Brown in transition. Jillian Brown, Euro step doesn't go. Rebound Kaiser. Here's Camp Trader. Out. Brown open for a second, looking for that pass to Evans. She'll swing it across back to Filia. Here's Kaiser. Top of the free-throw line. Kaiser makes her move inside. The finish doesn't go. Just about a minute to go here in this third quarter. Michigan up 6.
Kaiser seems to be struggling to find the net in the last few possessions.
Here's the 3. Wide open. Sydney Wood gets it to go, and Northwestern just hanging around. It's at 3. 48-45. Scoring's definitely picked up.
Absolutely. Northwestern staying in this game. No matter how much it might seem like the Wolverines are pulling ahead, they are always right behind with a play.
Here's Brown, another trying to force it. Camp Trader, wide open three-pointer. It goes. Grace Camp Trader. She gets her second 3 of the night. She's up to 6 points, and Michigan has a lead of 6.
Michigan heating up at the three-point line, which is going to be really important for them in the rest of this game as Northwestern keeps answering with their own points.
11 to go on the game clock. No shot clock. Right now, Northwestern will hold with 5. Swinging it up. Here's Wood trying to make a move on Brown. She does. The tough finish. No, Mott the rebound doesn't go. And that's how the third quarter will end.
Wow.
Michigan 51, Northwestern 45. We've got another quarter to go. It's been a lot of fun. Northwestern's been admirable in their fight. Michigan responding, led by Layla Filia, who's got 16. Kaiser and Brown have struggled, each with 8 and 6 apiece. Camp Trader off the bench, she's got 6 as well to lead the Wolverines, 2 big three-pointers. We've also seen Jordan Hobbs, she's come up with a 3 off the bench. We have not seen her in the second half. And another player we haven't seen too much, Cameron Williams. She's been impressive off the bench, or she's actually started, excuse me. She has 8, 4 for 9 from the field.
Yeah.
So Michigan bounce attack led by Layla Filia. They're up 6. What are we feeling here for this fourth quarter?
Well, it's interesting that Cameron Williams hasn't been on the court, and it seems like they've put Kira Evans in for her, a freshman, but she's been under the net. She also has that height. You can kind of tell she doesn't have as much experience as Cameron Williams on the court, but it's interesting that they've taken this time to put her in. Perhaps Cameron Williams needs a break, and they need to, strengthen the rest of their bench, which is probably a play that they're doing right now with Kira Evans in. But yeah, I mean, this game is pretty evenly matched right now, and I think that there's definitely room for Michigan to pull ahead as their star shooters start to really warm up and get a little more confident and adjust to the Northwestern defense. But, I mean, it's just been fun to see some competition and see a team with a lot of talent adapt to it.
And they have adapted for sure.
Absolutely.
First Big Ten game without Naz Hillman. We knew the struggles coming into the season, coming off that first Sweet 16 appearance. How would Michigan come out? They've started the season extremely hot, 8-0, led by the formidable trio of Layla Filia, Leah Brown, Emily Kaiser. In this game, though, however, it's been Layla Filia with 16 points. She's been the story. Only Michigan Wolverine in double figures.
Yeah.
But the Northwestern Wildcats, but they've been led balance attack. Sydney Wood with 10. Kalea Walsh with 10. A really hot third quarter. 3 for 4 from 3 for her. Wood is 2 for 2 from 3, so it's been the three-point game where they're 50%. That's really kept them in it, and I think their defensive intensity, forcing some turnovers, making it difficult for Leah Brown and Emily Kaiser.
Yeah, it's making every possession not a given. I feel like in other games, every time the Wolverines got the ball, they had the time to really try and make a play happen, but Northwestern is not giving them the time to settle and work it out as much as they might be used to, which is forcing them to think a little quicker, move a little quicker, use their basketball IQ to their advantage. And it's been working, and they've been finding those openings, but, the pressure definitely cuts them off sometimes. So working around that pressure is going to be something they'll probably continue to explore in this last quarter.
Michigan Northwestern fourth quarter just underway. Michigan has possession up 6. Can they close it out in the opener? Here's Cameron Williams, who you talked about not being in. She's in to start the fourth, and she's immediately fouled. Actually, it was a jump ball, and that will go to Northwestern. I thought that was a foul.
Yeah, I thought that looked like a foul to me.
Walsh reached a little bit. Refs didn't agree, and Northwestern will gain possession.
Cameron Williams already back with some aggression, and as she plays intense man-to-man defense, and she's got a really big wingspan to block off passing lanes.
This is interesting. Haley Weaver, who has not played a lot in this game, kicks it out for a three-pointer for Brown, and an offensive foul. As Cameron Williams was trying to move the ball away from the Northwestern defender, she ripped the elbow through, and that's clearly an offensive foul.
Yeah, she got a little aggressive there. I mean, something she definitely does, but I love the way she does it because it's very subtle. She's very grounded, seems to be a very confident player, and she makes those aggressive moves without you even really realizing it, as she boxes you out, as she pushes you away, she uses her height to her advantage. So she's understated in her aggression, which makes it almost that much more lethal.
So just starting this fourth quarter, and yes, it's been an aggressive game from Northwestern defensively. They've forced 14 turnovers compared to 9 only for them. They've forced the 14. Michigan averages about 16.5 per game to start the season, so higher in that turnover category.
That's going to be a really big number for Michigan to look at in future practices. Is that high turnover rate that's a dangerous number to have high numbers in. So I think, after this game, they're going to have to do a little reevaluating about what's working on their offense, depending on what kind of defense is being played against them.
So in this commercial break, Michigan 51, Northwestern 45. It's going to be a great finish from Crisler Center. Cold outside, warm inside. Which is always awesome. Michigan sports took a hit today as Michigan, if you're tuning in there, welcome in here, as Michigan lost to Kentucky from London. Charlie and Adam made the trip. They called the game in a tight one, but Kentucky edges out Michigan 73-69.
Yeah.
Now you're listening to some good basketball. Hopefully Michigan can get the W here in the Crisler Center at home. 51-45 is the score. Big Ten opener. Go ahead.
You can win the Big Ten championship, but you might not be able to win the London game. But hopefully we can win the Big Ten opener here. And, if you're listening and you haven't been to a Michigan basketball game, women's or men's, these Sunday games are really fun. There's a lot of great energy here. There's games in between every timeout, every quarter. So, if you're a parent with kids and you want to have something to do on a Sunday, this is a great place to come. If you're a student looking for a study break, this is a great place to come. It's super fun to support the Wolverines and to watch some great players play some great basketball.
And if you're wondering, sitting at home and saying, when can I listen to more WCBN broadcasts?
Oh, of course. I'm always thinking that.
Coming up this week, December 8th, we got women's basketball, 7 p.m. against Toledo from the Chrysler. It will be Charlie, William, Vinayak, and Zachary Linder on the call there. December 9th, we've got a doubleheader in hockey. That will close it out Friday and Saturday against Michigan State. One game in East Lansing on Friday night. It'll be William and Kendall traveling there. And hockey Saturday night from Yost Arena. I'll be on the call along with Owen and Linder there. So fun weekend of Michigan sports. Yes, no football, but WCBN has you covered with hockey and women's basketball this week. Michigan basketball, I think, gets the week off due to that London game. As those free throws go, for Northwestern. I think it was at Northwestern. I think that was a technical foul.
I think it was a technical foul because of Cameron Williams. She sort of elbowed a little aggressively there.
Yeah, she ripped the elbow
I don't even
through.
think she realized it.
So Northwestern has the ball down 4. Here's Brown inside the finish, yes, and a big 4-point turnaround from Northwestern to cut this lead to 2.
That happened quick and sort of in the blink of an eye. Northwestern has been moving really quickly through this game, never letting Michigan settle for too long.
And Croquette threw that away looking for Felia, and now Northwestern has a chance to tie or take the lead late in this game, and this is certainly, we did not expect this.
No, I did not expect this. I was expecting to be at a pretty chill call today, but here we are, watching Michigan have to adapt to a team that's showing them more competition than they've seen in a while.
Here's the feed, top of the free throw line.
Ooh.
Good little move, and the jumper is good. How about Malai Walsh? She ties it at 51, and almost an errant pass from Emily Kaiser.
Walsh is having a great game, and she's aggressive and a shooter, and she's tall. So kind of a lethal combination.
She has been very good tonight, to say the least. Croquette a little pressured, trying to figure out where to go with the ball, and a timeout by the Wolverines. So Michigan, Northwestern, we are tied. We are tied at 51 here in this fourth quarter. Wow.
I'm not surprised.
Right.
I'm not surprised Michigan just called a little timeout there. They need to settle and, not let Northwestern's speed and aggression throw them off of the technical skill they have, the foundation they have. They need to keep in mind what works for them and not let, a bunch of purple people in their face throw them off.
A bunch of purple people in their face.
Bunch of Barneys.
Is right. Michigan, Northwestern, 8:17 to go in this fourth quarter. As a reminder, we've got multiple broadcasts coming up. We saw Michigan win that Big Ten championship last night. We also just heard Charlie and Adam on that Kentucky-Michigan game from London. We've got a doubleheader in hockey next week against Michigan State. One from East Lansing, one from Yost Arena on Saturday night, where I'll be alongside Zachary Linder and Owen Crane. We've also got some women's basketball coming up this week against Toledo at home. So Michigan, a little sneak peek of Big Ten action, then goes out of conference once again later this week on December 8th, that Thursday night. But this Sunday game, this is Big Ten opener, a little pressure, and Michigan supposed to cruise. 8-0 versus a 4-3 Northwestern, coming off a big loss on the road against Duke.
Yeah.
Michigan coming off a big win in Miami, and yet tight.
I think both of these teams are experiencing, the effects of travel, the effects of getting comfortable winning, not wanting to get comfortable losing. I think there's a lot of outside factors affecting how both of these teams showed up to this court today. Northwestern wasn't too far off in that Duke game at certain points, and they're probably taking some of the upset about losing that game and bringing it here with some aggression. I can't imagine they played with this much aggression at Duke, because this is a lot what they're doing, and it's working, and it's really working for them. Other teams will have this tactic in future games, so it is really great that Michigan is getting some exposure to a scrappy, fast, and, kind of emotionally charged team right now, I think.
It is emotionally charged, and as a reminder, you are listening on WCBN FM Ann Arbor 88.3. We are on the FM for this women's basketball Big Ten opener showdown. Michigan 51, Northwestern 51 as we resume play. It's been a little slow to start this fourth quarter, but now hopefully the pace picks up. Northwestern has a 6-0 lead. To start this fourth quarter, Michigan was up 6. Now Northwestern, due to a technical foul.
What, a 6-0 run right now?
Yeah, they are on a Cameron Williams turnover, and that's another turnover for the Wolverines. That's their 15th of the game.
Wow.
And a foul, and this is interesting. Crockett, who's been playing a lot in this fourth quarter, we have not seen her, and she's made a couple of mistakes early.
Yeah.
And then she checks out as Kyra Evans.
Yeah.
We'll check back in.
It was a quick moment for Crockett. It's interesting that the coaches have been starting to put some of their freshmen in later halves. They've been doing that in previous games, which has sort of made sense when there's been a lead. But it's interesting that coach is putting them in this tight game. especially same with number 22, Kira Evans is in right now instead of Cameron Williams, probably out of fear of Cameron Williams fouling out, which she might be close to. I don't think she is, but I can double check on that.
Yeah, Cameron Williams, in terms of fouls, she's only got 2, so that has not been the issue. As a great defensive possession from the Wolverines. They forced the shot clock violation. Very tough defense, gets the crowd a little bit into it, as Northwestern will set up their press. It'll be a sideline inbound, so then Northwestern now will stay in that zone, but it'll just a little bit, as Paige Mott checks right back into the game for Courtney Shaw.
It's so great to watch the Wolverines run the shot clock for the other team. That's something they've done in previous games because their defense can be so tight.
Kaiser threw another almost errant pass. Nolan thankfully gets the tip, and she'll swing it to Brown. Leah Brown trying to get things going. She's got no points in the second half. Gets it inside. Kaiser draws the foul. Back to the line she goes.
That was a smart move by Kaiser to go up for that shot, probably knowing she was going to get pushed as starting to maybe use Northwestern's aggression against them to get them behind the line and get some of those free points up that right now are pretty important.
And it feels like whenever Michigan needs a shot, needs a play, they go to number 33. She's been so good in this second half, much better than that first half. Only 9 points, but she's been getting to that line 5 for 5, 6 for 6 now with 10. She's in double figures along with Layla Filia for the Wolverines. And Michigan now's got a 2-point lead once again.
I mean, Kaiser hasn't been afraid to get aggressive and push into the paint, which is, important when playing an aggressive team.
Here's Mott, top of the key. Looks to drive. Mott on Kyra Evans, and she traveled.
Nice.
Good D from the freshman Kyra Evans. She's been getting those minutes instead of Cameron Williams, and she's answered the bell.
Yeah, she put a tough wall up there and forced that extra dribble, which was a really, really great defensive moment for her.
Wood back in. She's been effective as well tonight. She's got 10 and 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. Here's Leah Brown. Good pressure from Rainey. Brown surveilling. It's a zone. Here's Kaiser one-on-one. Kaiser spins. The jumper. Nope. Excuse me, that was a layup. The spin move, and she got doubled. Once she was looking for that shot, she's got to be more aware and maybe kick that out as Rainey inside. Good move by Kaylee Rainey. She'll go back to the line for 2.
Kaiser's aggression has been great, but it's caused her to push a little too hard sometimes when probably a kick-out pass would have been the better move. But, something she's probably going to have to learn and adjust with more aggressive teams.
And she wasn't seeing those double teams last year. Those were going to Naz Hillman. She was
exactly.
Naz Hillman was very experienced at getting the ball out of those double teams.
Absolutely.
Emily Kaiser, she's got to learn when she gets doubled, when they're in a zone, they're going to be open shooters. You know that. You just got to get them the basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's just another example of how Naz not being here is forcing some of these players to realize they are the net, they are the safety, they are the ones that have to learn how to make these calls.
Tied at 53. Brown turns the corner, looks. Here's Evans. And I'm surprised that the leading scorer has not seen the basketball a lot as Nolan's jumper goes from the free throw line. I was referencing Layla Filia, but Maddie Nolan from the free throw line. She's been quiet today. She gets her first 2.
It has been an especially quiet game for Maddie Nolan. She usually tries to take a few more three-point shots, more shots in general, but it seems like she's been a little more focused on the defense of this game.
Kyra Evans doubles that screen as that's been the game plan all day, and she commits the foul. So it'll be a sideline out of bounds. Michigan already has 4 fouls here in this fourth quarter.
Wow.
Next one will be 1-1 with 5 due to the quarters rule in women's basketball. Good pass inside. Here's Mott. Mott turns, traveled.
Nice.
Kyra Evans has been especially impressive.
Wow.
Paige Mott, one of the best players for Northwestern. She has made her uncomfortable here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Kyra Evans, she's been strong. She's been a wall. She's got height.
Here's the 3. Filia short. Good rebound by Evans. Kicks it out. Here's Kaiser, top of the key. Here's Filia. Still in that zone, trying to cut inside. Good cut. Kaiser, she's fouled. On the ground, second foul for Northwestern. Michigan leads by 2 as checking in for Northwestern is Melanie Daly for Rainey. So Kayla Rainey checks out. She's been playing most of this game, and that's actually going to be 2 shots for it. Kaiser didn't realize she was going up with it. First one is good from Kaiser.
Kaiser been really clean from that line tonight, and she's been getting there multiple times because she's just been really hungry for the net.
Kaiser, whenever they need that bucket, she's up to 12,
there.
and she's been the catalyst in this fourth quarter. She's 2 for 7 from the field, but 8 for 8 from the free throw line. She's getting to the line. She's playing aggressive.
Yeah.
And despite those double teams, she's got her buckets in the second half.
Absolutely. And I mean, those free points are always important, and it's one of the reasons why Michigan has been able to keep this lead.
Nolan on Wood. She'll swing it across. Shaw the screen. Brown, oh, good steal again. Layla Filia on the defensive menace, and she gets the bucket to go. Layla Filia lead back up to 6.
Layla Filia is a beautiful finisher. She's able to run towards that net with speed and always find the net.
These dribble handoffs have not been working for the Wildcats. Layla Filia, a menace, as I've been saying, defensively. Unbelievable. And she gets her hands on the ball again. She disrupting the passing lanes,
Absolutely.
making herself very, very effective on the defensive end.
Absolutely. I mean, cutting off those passing lanes is something that the Wolverines have done really well in the past. And, you know, being able to cut off those passes and even just get your hand on it a little bit can throw off the flow of the other team a lot.
Oh, good block by Nolan. This defense has really picked up. The jumper doesn't go. Rebound, Leah Brown. She wants to run. Shaw with the initial pressure. Filia trying to get set up before that zone. Here's Brown. Good pressure inside. Kaiser one-on-one. Easy bucket.
Beautiful.
Emily Kaiser with 14.
Emily Kaiser really stepping up here in the second half, and especially the second quarter. She's got her team on their feet. She's got the audience. She's got the crowd cheering. You know, she's a leader, and she's starting to realize that she is got to be the star player sometimes.
Crowd is definitely sensing this defensive intensity as another Northwestern timeout with 4:18 to go. Michigan 61, Northwestern 53.
Yep, I mean, Northwestern's definitely feeling the heat. They've pulled ahead 8 points when it was a 2-point game just at the beginning of the quarter, really. And yeah, I mean, Michigan, when they find the heat, when they find that intensity, they are very much a force to be reckoned with. And I think in future games, it's just going to be learning how to maintain that the entire game and not only have it come out in spurts here and there, because if they only come out in spurts, those lulls leave opening for the other team to cut in and pull that lead right from their feet.
But it's been a great adjustment from
Absolutely.
Michigan. They've really taken the initiative on offense by pushing the basketball, not allowing the zone to get up, and trying to get Emily Kaiser some looks. And when that zone does get set up, get the ball to your best player, make her force fouls, make them get free throws at the line, make her get her buckets. And they've done that. Northwestern has played her tough. And Michigan really hasn't seen that this season, but they've responded, and now you can feel the crowd into it. Here on this Sunday afternoon, you can hear crowd is into this.
Yeah, I mean, I see a middle-aged man shaking his pom-poms across the court
I do see that
He's
as
really
well.
into it. Super exciting. It's always also really fun to see a lot of young girls here watching. I mean, this is a big year for Title IX and a big year for this women's team, so that's great to see, too.
And just the hype around this program, despite losing Naz Hillman, first Sweet 16 appearance last season in the Michigan program. And that jumper goes for Northwestern to cut the lead to 6, and a turnover by Kaiser. Here's Brown, and just when you think Michigan has a stronghold of things, Brown back to the line.
Kaiser leading a conversation with her team under the net. The communication's always really important, especially in basketball. You know, a lot of moving factors, a lot of switches, a lot of changes. And it's interesting to see, you know, Kaiser lead those conversations on the court as she fills in that Nas role.
First free throw is good from Brown. Jillian Brown, she's been very impressive, now in double digits. The scoring has been balanced across Brown, Walsh, and Daly for the Northwestern Wildcats as they cut the lead to 4. And this press gets set up again, an immediate double team, and it kicks off the foot. Good play.
Oh, that was super smart. She really just threw that ball on her feet.
Yeah, Camp Schrader immediately doubled, made the smart play. Michigan will inbound again. She's open on this left side. Schrader turns it over, possibly. Yes, she does. Shaw gets it out. Brown to cut it to 2. Yes!
Wow.
The bank shot goes. Timeout, Wolverines. That press continues to haunt the Wolverines. Now up to 17 turnovers.
I have not, in men's or women's basketball, I have not seen press defense like this with that, like, pretty early. I mean, they've been doing this the entire game, but they're getting really aggressive with it right now, and it is working for them. And it's been a smart move by the Northwestern to put that pressure early and just, even cut off a chance of the Wolverines having a possession is going to be important for Northwestern, getting the ball back, getting that possession, keeping this lead within reach. And they've done that because it's now a 2-point game, and there is plenty of time left in this matchup. So that's been a really interesting, smart move from Northwestern's defense.
Michigan was up 61-53. Then a 6-0 run came due to the defense of Northwestern. Over the past 34 seconds, they've seemingly cut this lead down surgically to 2 points, making it a very, very interesting finish. We thought a couple times in this game where Michigan, they've had a chance to run away with it, and they just can't. They
haven't been able to run away with it, and I think a lot of that has to do with Northwestern's speed. They cut that lead quick, and it happens fast, and it happens in spurts. They catch Michigan when they're lulling a little bit, and those confidence lulls where they're like, yeah, okay, we're up 8 points now, but Northwestern hasn't been slacking ever in this game. So it's been really fun to watch.
It surely has been. Michigan will inbound, gets it up to Nolan. They easily break the press this time. Here's Leah Brown running down the court. Doubled immediately in this zone, and a good pass inside. Kaiser, trying to get the rebound. She does. Gets it back out to Evans. Evans looking. Good defense by Northwestern. Good job getting the hands in the passing lanes. That was Melanie Daly, and she's been key. She's usually off the bench. She's now playing in crunch time for the Wildcats.
It's interesting that Kira Evans is still into this crunch time. I mean, she's been playing really, really well as a freshman in this high-intensity environment.
Here's the swing out. Here is Nolan, a three-pointer, no.
Ooh.
And a foul on the ground. Good box out from Emily Kaiser. She forces the foul. She's been great inside. She has dominated the interior, and that'll be the third for Northwestern, and it'll be a sideline out of bounds for the Wolverines. Yeah. 3:23 to go.
Maddie Nolan hasn't really been shooting too much tonight, so it's no surprise that her shot was a little cold. But
good pass inside, and Kaiser immediately draws the foul. That's been the go-to. Whenever Michigan needs a bucket, go to number 33.
Go to number 33. It's surprising that Northwestern keeps fouling her, though, because, I mean, she's so strong at that free throw line. But, it's aggression against aggression, and usually with an offensive drive like that, it goes the offensive way.
And I think we're seeing a star budding before our eyes. Last year it was Naz Hillman. This year it looks to be Emily Kaiser. She's up to 15. Slow start. Not great from the field. She's 3 for 9, but 9 for 9 from the free throw line. She's been getting there often in this second half. She is now 10 for 10, and Michigan now has a 3-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, she's been carrying a lot of weight from that free throw line, and it's no joke. And, in close games like this, I'll always say it, free throw points can make or break a game.
4-point lead for the Wolverines. Crowd on its feet. Here's Rainey. Good defense. Kyra Evans just getting in the ray of Rainey.
Kyra Evans just won't be pushed over.
That hedge on that screen doubling immediately once that happens. Kyra Evans again does it, making sure not to foul.
She's been really good at not fouling.
Here's the move inside. That jumper from Daly doesn't go. Here's Kaiser with 4-point lead. Picks up her dribble. Here's Nolan. They get it over the line. That press has been really, really good for the Wildcats. 2:43 to go. They get back into the zone. Here's Felia. She's been quiet, but is the leading scorer for the Wolverines. Brown kicks it across. Maddie Nolan three-pointer. It's
Yes.
good.
Beautiful for Maddie Nolan. She just needed that one test shot from that corner, and that second one made it through the net beautifully.
Maddie Nolan. Big time three-pointer. Michigan leads by 7. 2:15 to go. Northwestern needs a bucket. Here's Brown. Michigan crowd into it. Brown looks to drive. She gets the screen. Brown swings it. Rainey in the corner. Three-pointer. Yes!
Ooh. Wow. It's dangerous to give Northwestern that opening on the right side of the court there for that three-point. They've been making it over and over and over. And just like that, it's a 4-point game.
Rainey with a great job, and then the pass inside. They easily break the press, and Kyra Evans, the freshman, she's been so good in this second half, defensively, finally getting on the board. Here in this fourth quarter, Michigan leads by 6, 1:30 to go.
So exciting to watch Kyra Evans step into a role here for Cameron Williams. Cameron Williams will most likely still continue.
Oh, what a steal. Sorry to cut you off
No,
there, KG.
please cut me
What
off.
a steal, and the finish! And the foul,
Beautiful.
Leah Brown, emerging.
Emerging.
What a play. Leah Brown read that like a book. Gets the steal in the passing lanes. The defense stepping up here in this fourth quarter, final 3 minutes. Northwestern had cut it to 1. Now Michigan leads by 8. They'll go to the line, up 115, up by 8 or 9 with about 1:15 to go, and this is the Michigan team we thought we were expecting.
Absolutely. I mean, those last few possessions and plays right there, each player has done what they do best. Kaiser getting that drive and getting those buckets from the free throw line, and Brown picking off that defensive, picking off those passes and finishing strong at the end. And, Maddie Nolan shooting and making that important three to be a catalyst for some more energy for this team. Those are 3 older players who are much more experienced on this team than their younger teammates, and they've both really just did what they are supposed to do best in these last couple minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, they have. And Michigan looking to close this thing out. Sunday afternoon, Big Ten opener. Michigan, Northwestern. Northwestern coming in 4-3. You've heard the stories. You've heard the maybe discrepancy in play that you were expecting. However, Northwestern has come in, played really good, shooting the ball well from the three-point line and from the field. They are 50% from 3 and 42% from the field. Michigan, however, not as good from the 3. They're 40%, but they've picked up their field goal percentage, 49%. But the other key, they've got 16 free throw attempts, 10 from their star player, Emily Kaiser. 10. That is very impressive. She's played 37 minutes, along with Layla Felia playing 37 minutes. A lot of minutes for them. But I think the biggest surprise as a Michigan basketball fan is seeing Kyra Evans in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Kyra Evans in this fourth quarter has definitely been an interesting move, but it has worked. She is strong. She is calm. She is a really great defensive wall and has been pushing Northwestern out continuously. And right just then and there, she was found under the net and made a really key layup. So it's interesting to not see Cameron Williams, but it's always great to know that the Michigan bench is deep and it's got talent on it. And, when the games get more intense and they get more energy draining, it's nice to know that you can have someone to step in for your more well-known players, and that won't let the team take a dip.
Yes, that has certainly been the case. 1:15 to go. Michigan up 8. Leah Brown, she's been quiet all game. She's got 8 points, but will now go to the line for a 3-point play off an amazing defensive play. The key for Michigan has been trying to beat this press, beat this zone from Northwestern. That has kept Northwestern in it. But now Michigan has finally seen some cracks, seen some openings, getting that point scoring up. They're up to 70 points compared to Northwestern's 62. Here's Leah Brown from the line to make it a 9-point game. It goes. I think it's 2, actually. I think there might have been a technical foul. After that play, there was a little bit of a confrontation
Yeah,
from Leah Brown and a couple of those Northwestern players.
I think there was a little bit of aggression, maybe an unsportsmanlike moment that got a little physical and allowed for that to be a 4-point play. So good for her, and the Michigan is now up 10 with 1:15 left in this fourth quarter.
Michigan will inbound, up 10. That technical foul really took Northwestern out of it as Evans almost lost it. She'll try to rip through. Ball is on the ground, picked up by Foley, and they'll control. With 20 on the shot clock, plenty of time for Michigan to milk this clock. Here's Kaiser turning. Good cutting from the Wolverines. Here's Filia, under a minute to go. Filia trying to feed it inside. Bad pass from Brown. And turned it over. Here come the Wildcats. Brown, Jillian Brown for Northwestern looking to drive. 45 seconds. Northwestern needs to score fast. Into the paint. Here's the move by Rainey. Doesn't go. Kaiser immediately doubled, then fouled.
Yeah, makes sense.
And she'll go to the line. Things looking bleak for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
And look at those Wolverines Big Ten opener. They fought, and it looks like they'll come out victorious.
Yeah, Michigan pulled ahead just in time and has really left the Wolverines with not much to work with in these last 39.6 seconds, as Kaiser will, shoot again from the free throw. And as I will imagine, she will make them.
Kaiser, 11 for 11 from the line. Gutty performance.
She does it again.
She's 12 for 12.
I mean, I think that's so impressive. I get so frustrated when I watch like professional men's basketball and they miss those free throws. I'm just like,
now I do too. I get it.
Come on, guys.
I think they need more of Emily Kaiser's on the floor.
More Emily Kaiser's on the floor.
As Brown misses that, Michigan gets the rebound, and they'll get it, and Nolan is fouled. 28.9 to go. Michigan up 12.
Wow, that lead pulled ahead quite quickly there. And, 30 seconds isn't really much for Northwestern, but they'll continue to foul to try to slow down the scoring and get one more, maybe two more possessions if they're really feeling optimistic. Maddie Nolan hasn't been at the free throw yet tonight, but she makes the first one.
Nolan makes it as the fans, little cheer. As that one goes. Michigan 75, Northwestern 62. Timeout, Wildcats.
Seems to be a bit of a substitution change happening for the Wolverines for these last 28 seconds. Jordan Hobbs is going to get back in the game. Interesting that we haven't seen her play that much, as she's been a pretty strong player in previous games, shooting-wise for sure. And Crockett will also come back in.
Yes, they will. And Jordan Hobbs, she hit that three-pointer, and she was 1 for 3 from 3, and we have not seen her since. And, of course, in Michigan trying to navigate post-Naz Hillman life, and we've seen different players come in. Now we'll see.
Yeah, different combinations, seeing what works is always important in a team, finding its new identity.
Yeah, and we'll see the bench come in. It's Hobbs, Camp, Schrader, Crockett, Evans, Stuck. For Northwestern, it's Rainey, Brown, Walsh, Weaver, and Daly. 28.9. Michigan up 14. The Big Ten opener looking like a success. They were tested as Northwestern gets that rebound with under 20 to go. They were tested, but Michigan fighting back. The toughness of Emily Kaiser, the toughness of Layla Filia. Leah Brown getting that big-time steal, forcing that technical foul. Pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Some big clutch moments from players too, some big clutch 3 points, clutch turnovers. This team has been showing that under the pressure they won't crumble. So that's a great character trait for a team to have. That
is certainly right. And this is not the first time Michigan will get tested. It will not be. In the first home opener, Big Ten opener, for the Wolverines. Next Thursday, they host Toledo, and then the week after, December 17th, they play Appalachian State before things pick up, where they play North Carolina, and then finally the crux of the Big Ten schedule begins starting New Year's Eve. That day, they go at Ohio State. 3 days before, they play at Nebraska. Then they got Penn State, Iowa, Purdue. So the Big Ten schedule will heat up as the month comes to an end. But in the first game, the first test for the Wolverines, seems like a success with 4.0 to go. They're up 13. Northwestern will press, not foul with 3, and now they do. With 11 to go.
Seems to be a little bit of a miscommunication on what the move was there. And now the refs are in cahoots.
With 0.6 to go on the clock, I don't know what they could be debating. Let's just end this. At this point,
it might just be time to call it a Sunday. But, they will play out these last 0.6 seconds.
And we will wait as Northwestern's coach, Jim McCune, still pointing at people, making sure they're set. But I guess they're just trying to work on a last-second buzzer beater with 0 on the clock. That 3 doesn't go, and the Wolverines win 77-66 over the Wildcats. Michigan, they got tested. Layla Filia led the day with 18. How about Emily Kaiser with 15, as well. Michigan 77, Northwestern 66 for Colby Segal, for KG Foley, for Matthew Levy. It's been fun. Any final takeaways, KG, before we sign off?
No final takeaways, just that this is a strong team, and we should, keep following them through the rest of this Big Ten Conference.
Yes, we will. Actually, Emily Kaiser had 18 points. Tough, gritty. That's how you define it. Michigan 77, Northwestern 66. Have a good night, and go